Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Electric Gourmet. I'm Harry Phillips. I'll be hosting today's show. Norma Schroeder is taking a little time off, and because I lost at rock, paper, scissors, I'll be your host today. But little misfortune brings some good fortune. I have the great pleasure of working with a very good friend of mine, Herb Davis from the Townsend Center. Herb, welcome to the show.
Hi, Harry. Thank you and welcome.
Nice to have you with us here, and I thought we'd do is kind of tell the viewers a little bit about the Townsend Center. I know it's pretty rich with history in the community of Richmond, so some of the scholastic programs that you have for the kids.
Sure. Well, you mentioned about the history. Townsend's been in Richmond since 1921, and it's been serving the citizens of Richmond and the youth of Richmond since then. Some of the things that we do, we focus on after-school programs, and we have open recreation, basketball, volleyball, that sort of thing. And then most recently, we've done a couple new things. We've done some introduced 4-H. 4-H is wonderful out in the county, but there's not a lot of inner city presence of 4-H. And so I'm happy to say we've had a successful year. We had some things judged. They did an electric project, and a couple of the kids took first place. We also had, they had a cooking project, and a couple of the kids came in first place and one came in second.
That's terrific. As a matter of fact, you mentioned electric. We're going to try to get into electric car here a little bit later on. But one of the other programs I know you did was it SCORE? Was that the name of it?
SMART.
SMART. Tell us a little bit about SMART.
Science and Math Awareness, Results, and Tools for Life. And that's an enrichment program where kids work on science projects and math projects, and they really don't know that they're doing it. And then we try to couple that with once a quarter having an event where their parents come in and get involved as well.
I noticed you have a lot of volunteers from Earlham that come there and help, and you have other people from the community. Is you always looking for volunteers to help?
Always looking for volunteers to help. Townsend Center and a lot of other agencies that are not-for-profit couldn't function without volunteers. We have volunteers from IU East, we have volunteers from Earlham, and we have volunteers from all over the community.
Mm-hmm. Well, I forgot to mention that Herb is the executive director there at Townsend Center, and if you'd like to volunteer or help out, give Herb a call, or Amy, right? And
please do. The number to Townsend Center is 965-5800, and we'd be happy to have you. I'm hoping that after today we'll be able to have you, Harry, come over and cook for the kids.
I don't think that's possible, but thanks anyway.
That you can come over or cook?
Both. No, I've been over to the Townsend Center on a number of occasions. It's a great place, and like I said, we'll get into the electric car, which was a fantastic project, and Herb was the one that brought that to the Richmond community. But I thought we'd do is at least get into some of the cooking. That's why we initially had you here, Herb. So.
Okay, well today we're going to prepare, you and I, are going to prepare a banana chocolate chip loaf. And you've tasted it and, thought it was good, so I think I'm ready to begin.
Let's get to work.
Okay, we're going to have two different things. We're going to have dry ingredients and wet. And so we want to keep them separate until we mix them and fold them together. I'll take care of the dry, you take care of the wet.
Okay, so you got the Herb and Harry spoons already there.
So what we're going to do, and I'll just go over the ingredients with you real quickly. 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, a tablespoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, and a cup of chocolate chips, and the chocolate chips can be semi-sweet or the milk chocolate chips. It's all your preference. And then for the wet portion, there's 1/3 cup of milk, 1/3 cup of peanut butter, and a cup of ripe bananas, and that typically takes about three bananas equal a cup, 1 egg, and 3 tablespoons of oil.
Super.
So, are you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start. This is for you.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with the 2 cups of flour. And if you could use your electric banana peeler and do the bananas.
Of course.
I was told by a pretty reliable person that when you're doing a bread, you don't want to mix and mix and mix because it makes it pretty tough.
Do you want me to put the whole banana, or you want me to cut it up?
No, what I want you to do with the banana right there is you can cut it up and put it in here because it needs to be mashed up.
Okay, and this one right here?
That's correct.
So Herb, you the cook at the house, or is this just a particular specialty, or?
I am the cook at the house. I maintain this figure by by cooking and then consuming.
Well, I was going to say, I've seen you eat before, but I've really never seen you cook, so.
Well, people, always are saying that they have to be health conscious, and this is a pretty healthy dish. And it's a dish that's kid-friendly. Kids really enjoy this, and it's not really banana-y, and everybody likes chocolate, so it goes over.
Your daughter Sydney's with us in the audience today, so she helped on this particular project?
She did. Actually, she likes to cook. She made a double chocolate cake last night that was really good. Have we ever had any young chefs on the show?
Well, yes, we had at the end of shows, right, Cam? Have we?
Oh,
5-year-old, that's right. Yeah, we've had some younger
Oh,
folks.
now, Harry, you're that's very nice that you're doing that like that, but you don't have to.
Okay.
You can make it bigger because you're going to mash those up.
Fine. There we go.
I know you were thinking you were putting those on cereal for the family, but
Yeah, actually, that's what I do for the boys.
well, we
Start
all
mashing, or
Yes, please.
I was kind of surprised that you would actually let me work with a knife. Most people here don't let me use sharp things, so.
Well, that's probably the most you've done this week, isn't it?
Pretty much, yes. Thanks for mentioning that. You've confirmed a lot of things here at RP&L.
Okay, just don't. That's a little more, please. So, Harry, how many customers does RP&L service?
We have about 22,000 meters. So we serve the community of Richmond. There.
Very good. Now, we're going to continue to add to that a third of a cup of milk.
Go ahead.
Yes.
All right, if I could balance it over here. Not that I was jittery or anything.
And we need a third of a cup of peanut butter. And
Norma
please,
makes this look
please
sweet.
don't eat off the spoon
Okay,
and dip
right,
it back in
right.
there. And I'm
So
going-
now, can you, some of the stuff we use, I saw we had 2% milk. Can you substitute any of the milk for this, or?
You could use
peanut
whole
butter?
milk, and also there's an option that you can put. I use crunchy peanut butter, but you can
Yeah, I
also
noticed
put
that.
the whole peanuts in there as well if you'd like. You have to be careful, like if you're taking this to school, because a lot of
Yes.
people have allergies to peanuts. But most kids will tell you if they have them.
Okay, do you want me to continue to mix this slurry here, or?
You can mix that together. And we're going to add some vanilla. A tablespoon of vanilla.
I notice that's the hairy spoon there that you had.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we need the egg. And what I would like for you to do with the egg, Harry, is if you could crack that with one hand and then...
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. One hand, huh? Yeah, thanks. It's a gift, Herb. It's a gift.
So you were an intern at Bob Evans or something when you were
Actually, I was a waiter in college, so, I did have a handle at that.
a waiter. You waited to get accepted, or?
Yeah.
Okay. I waited to graduate.
Yeah, I see. Me too.
We'll end up with, this will make 4 loaves, and something when you bake it, and I neglected to tell you, you need to set your oven for 350 and bake them for 25 to 30 minutes. And you probably want to look after about 20 minutes, and if the tops are beginning to brown, you'll want to take some foil and cover the tops.
Okay.
And now we need 3 tablespoons of oil. If you can add that in there, Harry.
You're going to have to check to see what this is. 1 tablespoon, so it's 3 times.
And this is cooking oil. I know Harry was going to bring some oil, but it was 5W30, and I didn't think that would work. So
I tried to help.
So I ran
tried to
out this
help.
morning and picked this up.
Well, this is pretty easy to make here so far. I mean,
It is real easy, and a lot of times, you know, it's something that kids like, and when you're in a hurry, you come in the house and you need to get something done, you can prepare this pretty quickly, and the kids will really enjoy it. Now, what we want to do now is I'm going to add the baking powder to my dry ingredient. Let me have another napkin. And then we'll begin to mix this together.
And then we're going to put this in the little pans.
In the 4
here.
pans, correct.
So where did you pick these up at? I mean, are these locally here at the store, or?
Yeah, Kroger has them. Everybody, Blow Bills, everybody
It's a
would
great
have.
little portion size. I mean, you don't have to cook one of these larger loaves. You could just sort of give people
Individual, and you can wrap them up if you want to give them out as a holiday gift or something like that.
So I guess this is what I'll be getting later on this year, I suppose? Is that?
Harry, after talking with some of the folks here
Here we go.
at RP&L, that's not what I had in mind for you. It's not what they had in mind either.
Yeah,
but
I know.
I won't go there.
I know who you talked with, too.
All right. Now, it's important that we want to mix the dry ingredients in with the wet. And we're going to take the spatula. I have two. One's a Herb and one's a Harry. I think
guess
you can
could
tell
pick,
who's who. We're going to mix this in there with that. I was told by a pretty reliable person that makes a difference when you mix the dry in with the wet. I'm not sure what difference that makes, but you've tasted the finished product and you thought it was
fantastic.
Thought it was okay. Well, that's nice of you to say when you were making faces while you were.
We're on camera now, so it was great.
While you were eating it. Okay, now we're gonna fold this in. You know what I mean when I say fold?
I've seen the
I
concept
thought you
before.
did take
yeah.
that. Okay. This is a team effort here.
Yeah, okay.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Fold.
There you go. And while Harry's folding, I'm going to take some Bake Easy and just spray the bottom of the tins very lightly. No particular, any type of oil that you like. People have certain preferences with things that they like to use, but it's any type of oil.
You know, I thought about this too when I put a pair of black pants on, and now with the flowers, so I'll just reach here.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And it goes together, and then we'll put it in there. And again, you set your oven for 350.
About how long again inside the oven?
25 to 30 minutes. And you just want to make sure again to look after about 20 minutes to see if they're
too brown.
if they're getting too brown on the top. And you can cover them with foil.
Now we want to make sure that all the flour is mixed.
Yes.
Okay.
But just kind of full. We're not going to sit and stir and stir and stir.
Okay.
And I think that's about about right.
Okay.
And we really didn't make too much of a mess.
No, not at all. So what else can you make, Herb, that you sort of fancy yourself a chef around the house?
Well,
just about everything, or
well,
you mentioned something about a chicken.
There's a chicken and broccoli. It's called Batan's chicken, and it's pretty nice and tasty. And
maybe next show we'll have
I try to sample that, and I'm going to look at trying to get a couple people. I have a good friend who's a physician who's really a gourmet cook, and you wouldn't think of those type professionals as doing that, but he's really interested in doing that.
Yeah, we're always anxious to have other people on the show, those that are enthusiasts for cooking.
Now we'll divide this up. Now, Harry, you're
yeah, absolutely. We can always find the recipe on our website, www.rp-l.com. Herb, and along with other shows in the past, are all archived there. So this will be under desserts, I would assume. And You can also give us a call, 973-7200, if you don't have access to the website.
Desserts, and I think this is considered like a bread as well.
Bread, okay. It actually would have been great with some coffee. It looked like a fantastic morning kind of treat. So Herb, while we've got this moment of awkward silence, tell us a little bit about the electric car, Green Motion. I know the viewers out there would probably be interested in some of your involvement even beyond Townsend Center.
Well, a lot of people in the Richmond community, I'm happy to say, are aware of the Green Motion project and the EV Challenge, where the high school students converted the internal combustion engine car into an electric vehicle. And I might add that were very successful their first year and took some awards in
That's right.
North Carolina.
Went to EV Challenge, that's correct.
So, and it's just a wonderful opportunity, and it's an additional way for students to learn. And one beauty that came out of the program was, in some of the vocational things and some of the more technical things, the schools that participate in the program, they saw an increase in female participation because you tend to get your hands really, really dirty and greasy and things with an internal combustion gas. But with electric, it's a lot cleaner, not only for the environment, but to work on. So you see a lot more female participants and students taking an interest in that. And there are also several schools reported that there was a large increase in minority participation.
And Herb's being pretty humble here too, because he was the one that brought this particular project to the state of Indiana. It's actually the first of its kind. We were lucky enough as RP&L to participate by providing a car, and the Richmond Community High School actually did the work on it. So it was your brainchild to bring it here, and we were just thankful to be a part of it. And it really done really well as far as, like I said, at the EV Challenge down in North Carolina last year. As a matter of fact, it'll be at the State Fair through the month of August, and we'll be there as well on the weekends, sort of inviting other community high schools to become a part of it. Now, I noticed too, Herb, that we're not going all the way to the top with this, right? We're just
because they're going to expand in the pan and fill it up. And then these now are ready to go into the oven. And Harry, you were too kind. The EV Challenge or the electric car program would have never been a success without RP&L's involvement and the enthusiasm from RP&L to want to help the community, the young community, get better educated. So you played a big part.
Well, we were happy to be a part of it, and it was a neat project. The car looks great. There was a lot of participation from the school too, in designing the car with the particular paint job that it had. Actually, that took, I think, first place.
I believe that's correct.
Yes, it was. So come see us down there at the State Fair. We'll have the electric car there, and Herb will be there as well. What else do we do now? This just goes in the oven?
These are ready to go into the oven for 25 to 30 minutes at 350 degrees, and I'll transfer those over here. And if you'll get out the finished product.
Well, that was really fast, Herb. That looks great. How did we make 4 loaves turn into 2? I think we should have gone the other way.
And there we have it.
Well, they look great. So what else, besides some of the other programs that you have at the Townsend Center, do the kids get involved with down there? I mean, it goes far beyond just scholastics, doesn't it?
It does. We're kind of like one big happy family. We also have had the fortune of getting a kiln, and the kids have been able to do some pottery, and we were able to purchase a bunch of molds from someone who attended our annual dinner this year. So now we can do ceramics, and we're going to offer ceramics not only for the young people in the community, but there's also been some adult interest in ceramics. So we're excited about
That's super.
about
That's
that.
a pretty versatile education program you have there.
And if I could just say, there are a couple other programs at Townsend Center that are housed there. WIC's offices are located there. There are 2 Head Start classrooms located there. Amigos has their administrative office there, and the Minority Health Coalition is the newest tenant in the building, and then the North Richmond Neighborhood Association is also housed at Townsend Center, and various groups meet at Townsend Center as well. Amigos has their English classes twice a week at Townsend Center. There is an AA group that meets at Townsend Center. It's called Amends, and just a lot of activities. There's also a Hispanic indoor soccer group that meet there once a week.
Oh, that's fantastic. Like I said, if you can be a part of the Townsend community volunteering, give Herb or Amy a call. They'd sure love to have your help.
Please call us, and we welcome suggestions. People have ideas about things, and that's always welcome.
I have some for you too. I'll let you know about those.
Well, that's fine. That would be wonderful. I'm a little suspect of some of your ideas, but you had the idea about trying to put the electric car in the water, and I don't know where that idea came from. But,
well, too, I heard too that you were going to try and set me up on this show, so I'm glad that failed. So,
well, no, and I'm happy that you helped me, and I would never attempt to set you up on in live TV, Harry.
Right. We don't believe that.
I
Absolutely.
wouldn't do that.
Well, these look really fantastic. So just a nice little individual kind of portioned. Now, can you put anything on it, like glazing or anything like that?
I'm sure you could. They're really pretty sweet with the banana and the sugar and the chocolate in there, but you could glaze them, and you can, you get the various color cellophane, and at Christmas you could give them away, or at Thanksgiving you could do that. So now you have some holiday baking you can do. And
yeah, I can actually probably do this myself then too.
Really?
Yeah, we weren't sure really where the show was going to go today, so it was kind of exciting to do with someone who has such a smiley face.
When I told them that you were going to be hosting, and I found out, I said I was happy to do it, and I know there's when you're doing it, there's probably a lot of interest
yes, there was.
In this particular show.
There was a lot on my part to do this. So I guess, back to the electric car real quick. When you came across this idea, would this come out of something in the Engineers Club? Is that correct?
When I was the director of the Engineers Club, we always tried to look for innovative ways to teach sciences and, young future engineers. And so we embraced the EV Challenge program and thought it would be a wonderful way for people to learn. And you can encompass, when you build a car, you're also encompassing the sciences and math and arts. So it's a wonderful way for people to learn. And a lot of people who get involved in it, you see improved performance in their grades. You also see performance in attendance. People tend to want to come to school, and that's an issue for some kids.
We saw that too, and Herb has an incredible passion for education, and I saw that too when we were able to start the idea at the Richmond High School, and we talked with some of the students there, and Roy Reisinger, who provided his part of the education there, really got the ball rolling there at the school, so it was kind of nice to get a lot of different kids involved.
And you notice the enthusiasm with the students. I mean, you even had students who wanted to stay after school to work on it, and that's kind of rare. Most of the time, if they're staying after school, it's either a sport activity or it's something that they've done during the day that warrants them having to stay after school.
Absolutely, that was really the neat part about that. It was the uncharacteristic enthusiasm that you'd see with students other than, sports, so it's kind of fun to see that. Like I said, we'll be at the State Fair this year with the car, trying to showcase more of that and getting more schools involved in it. Anything else about the Townsend Center or Electric Car Project? We'd like to chat with these folks, so we have an opportunity to kind of talk with them here.
Just if folks should come down to the center and see what we're doing. We used to have some cooking classes there. We'd like to resurrect those again.
That back again.
So if there's anybody out in the community that would be interested in doing that, please feel free to do that. You know, sometimes people are working, or sometimes they're retired and they get off work and they're a little tired and don't have a lot of energy. I can assure you, if you come down around the children, they will re-energize you. They just have a way of making you feel young again.
Oh, touche. I spent time down there and had a lot of fun with the kids. And there's a lot of respect and self-respect, you know, that a lot of the kids have there too. You know, so it's a really healthy environment.
And I'm younger than you are too.
Well, not really, but we'll discuss that later. Well, I'd like you to thank you for watching us today. We had a great show, and Herb, thanks for being a part of our show today. On behalf of all the employees of Richmond Power and Light and everyone at WCTV, we'd like to thank you for taking time to watch another of our shows. So until then, have a good day.
Bon appetit.
Personally, I am just so sick and tired of these taxes.
Why do you always do this?
You know, every time